As a continuation to the previous video, we are going to see the next two cases where the input is considered to be an impulse response or an impulse input, and the third case is when the input is a sinusoidal input. Case 1 was when the input is a unit step signal. In case 2, we are going to consider the input to be an impulse input. An impulse signal is represented as del of t. So which means my input signal V of t is going to be equal to V into del of t. The Laplace transform of this is given by V remains constant. For del of t, the Laplace transform is 1. So therefore, V of s is nothing but V. So this is equation 1 as we already saw in the previous video. So now let us substitute V of s to be V in this place. So coming back here, so it is V into s by L divided by s square plus R by Ls plus 1 by Lc. So we can write this as L is a constant value, it is the inductance in the circuit. So it is V by L into S divided by S square plus R by Ls plus 1 by Lc. Now for this term, the roots are the same. We get two roots as S1 is alpha plus beta and S2 is alpha minus beta. Once again, let's analyze the three cases for overdamped, underdamped and critically damped. For overdamped, R by 2L the whole square is greater than 1 by Lc. So roots are real and positive. So the two roots will remain the same. It is alpha plus beta and alpha minus beta. So therefore, while taking partial fractions, we will write it as, for this particular term, it is A by the first term, S minus alpha plus beta plus A2 by the second term, S minus alpha minus beta. On taking the inverse Laplace transform, A1 remains the same for 1 by S minus this term. So once again to repeat, for 1 by s minus a, the inverse Laplace transform is e power at. So in place of a, here we have alpha plus beta. So this will become e power alpha plus beta into t. And the second term is a2 into, again it is e power alpha plus beta, alpha minus beta into t. So therefore, on taking e power alpha t commonly outside, we will get this to be a1 e power beta t plus a2 e power minus beta t. Second case is a critically damped where both the terms are assumed to be equal. So R by 2L the whole square is equal to 1 by Lc. Therefore, beta becomes 0. So therefore, it is S minus alpha into S minus alpha. So it becomes S minus alpha the whole square. So again taking partial fractions, it is A1S by S minus alpha the whole square plus A2 by S minus alpha. For 1 by S minus alpha, 1 by S minus A the whole square. Here we have S. So for S by S minus A the whole square, the inverse Laplace transform is T e power at. So therefore, this A1 remains the same. For S by S minus alpha the whole square, the inverse Laplace transform is T e power at, and for the second term it is e power at. The third condition is underdamped response where R by 2L is less than 1 by Lc. So the roots are real and complex. So the first root is alpha plus j beta and the second root is alpha minus j beta, and on substituting we will be getting the value of current. So this is the case when the input is impulse in nature. Case 3 is when the input is a sinusoidal input. So once again taking, your V is going to be equal to V sine of omega t. This is the input signal that we are giving. Now taking Laplace transform V of s, V remains the same. For sine omega t, the Laplace transform is omega by s square plus omega square. So once again we have to substitute this value in place of V of s in equation 1. So therefore it becomes V omega by s square plus omega square, which is this V of s into this term once again remains the same. So therefore it becomes V omega s by L divided by s square plus omega square into s square plus R by Ls plus 1 by Lc. So the denominator, we know that for this term, So we know for this term the two roots are alpha plus beta and alpha minus beta. So therefore the first term s square plus omega square remains the same. For this we write the term s minus the first root alpha plus beta and s minus the second root which is alpha minus beta. Once again, case 1 is overdamped response where R by 2L the whole square is greater than 1 by Lc. So the roots are real and positive. So all the three roots remain the same. So therefore, while taking partial fractions, we need to observe the denominator. If you see the first term, it is s square plus omega square. So for such a term, it is a1s plus a2 by s square plus omega square. When you take partial fractions, if we have 1 by, for example, s square plus a square, we'll write it as as plus b divided by s square plus a square. It is a into s plus b. That is what we have written here. Instead of a and b, we have written it as a1 and a2. So it is a1s plus a2 divided by s square plus, here it is omega square. The next two, it is as usual, it is a3. Already we have used a1 and a2. So it is a3 by s minus alpha plus beta plus a4 by s minus alpha minus beta. So we can split this into two roots. It is a1s by s square plus omega square plus a2 by s square plus omega square. And the third root is a3 by s minus alpha plus beta plus a4 by s minus alpha minus beta. On taking inverse Laplace transform, for the first term a1 remains constant. We have s by s square plus omega square. Second term a2 is constant. We have 1 by s square plus omega square. Third term and fourth term, we know it is the e power at formula. Now for the first term, for s by s square plus omega square, the inverse Laplace transform is cos omega t. And similarly, for omega by s square plus omega square, the inverse Laplace transform is sin omega t. But here we don't have omega, we have only 1. So what we will do is we will multiply and divide by omega. So therefore, what will happen here? This term, omega by s square plus omega square, becomes sin omega t. Right? So, and the third term we have a3 into, we know that for 1 by s minus a, it is e power at. For the fourth term also, it is e power at. So we can try to take the common terms commonly outside, like e power alpha t we can take commonly outside, and the remaining terms will be a3 e power beta t plus a4 e power minus beta t. The next condition is critically damped response, where both the values are equal. So where beta becomes 0, we will be only having alpha. So this term beta becomes 0. So the first term remains the same. For this it is unaltered. It is a1s plus a2 by s square plus omega square. For the third term is a3 plus divided by s minus alpha the whole square plus a4 by s minus alpha. So once again, taking inverse Laplace transform, this term becomes cos omega t. Here we will multiply and divide by omega. So what happens? Omega by s square plus omega square becomes sin omega t. This omega gets retained. The third term, it is t e power at, and the fourth term is e power at. Finally, the underdamped response, where r by 2l the whole square is less than 1 by lc. So the roots are complex conjugate. So the two roots are alpha plus j beta and alpha minus j beta. The first term, as usual, it remains the same. The third term is a3 by s minus alpha plus j beta, and the fourth root is plus a4 by s minus alpha minus j beta. So we can split out individual terms. So it is a1s by s square plus omega square plus a2 by s square plus omega square plus a3 by s minus alpha plus j beta plus a4 by s minus alpha minus j beta. So first term formula is cos omega t. Second term we will multiply and divide by omega. So omega by s square plus omega square becomes sin omega t, divided by omega gets retained. The next term formula is e power at. The final term formula is also e power at. So these are the various values of currents. When we give the inputs as a step signal, an impulse signal, and a sinusoidal signal for three different conditions, which is underdamped, critically damped, and overdamped response. Thank you.